Hi, I'm Catherine McLeod, proud ambassador for the Backyard Peace Project. And today I'm talking about understanding stress triggers and responses. And I have a very unique way at looking at this because we all have a different way, different experiences, and different um, knowledge, and all of that comes to play. So, just to share a little bit about where I'm coming from, is really into this field that was deeply transformational. Was in 2016. I used to work as a special needs teacher. So, I did work with a lot of emotionally and physically, psychologically dysregulated children in the special needs area. But other than that, I had an assistant who was an amazing woman, and her name was Sandra, and she was phenomenal, loving, giving, and a beautiful woman. And all of my work is a tribute to her. So she so that year, she found out she had breast cancer, and 6 weeks later, she had died. And that set me on a journey to go and discover more about life because she always said to me, Kath, when I do this, I'll be able to do this and I'll be able to do this. And she never got to do the things in her life. And one of the things she did say to me is, Kath, go and have that magical daughter. And I had a daughter at 45, nearly 45, because I reset my own nervous system. So I was able to carry my own beautiful child at 45 naturally giving birth. And so much has happened for this, doing this deep inner work, and it's been so profound and so unbelievable. So, the things that I'm going to just go through with you today. So, I have 10 key takeaways that you can take away and you can implement them in your life today. So I really want to make this very practical, even though I am very magical and I do love the woo and I do believe in working in divinity and being connected to divine. So you'll hear the word divine a lot, and that's okay. So, first, I'm going to talk about the power of divine alignment. And I'm sure you've heard about alignment. People talk about it all the time. And with alignment, it's when your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are all in the same direction. And often, some of the triggers are the underlying unconscious things that want to keep us safe and want to keep us exactly where we are. And when our conscious mind chooses to go for things, it has a vision and it has desires and we want to go for them. Sometimes the old version of ourselves doesn't want to come along. And so, this is why alignment is the first takeaway today. So, to get those things in order. So, your thoughts, your feelings, which are unconscious, dragging you back a lot of the time, and then you can actually do the actions with ease. Because without these things in alignment, you'll always go back and forth and go back to that old version of you. So, divine alignment is the first takeaway. The second one is from overdoing to being. So many women fall in the trap of just doing, doing, doing. And they say, a lot of masculine things say, take massive action, but it's not the same for women. I feel like being in the divine feminine, um, we we like to help. We are very helping, nurturing, beautiful beings. And our power comes from being, being present, being able to be creative, and we need to be actually feel safe. And this is why this topic is so important because without feeling safe, we always feel that reactivity, which the triggers are the reactivity, which are the unsafe feelings that pull us back to that safe. And it feels like we're shrinking. But a lot of women, and I know if you came from a family where maybe your mother didn't actually love herself, respect herself, she didn't really feel like she had a lot of self-worth, then you may want to always want validation, want always approval. So you're always doing things to look good because you don't feel good within. And so when you are that person that you actually have so much more energy and more power when you choose to be present and decide first before reacting. So that's really about from to do that takes a little bit of it takes a lot of inner work and awareness and consciousness. So reclaiming your self-worth, this is my expertise. And when I did this in 2017, I went from being a school teacher for 20 odd years and that knowing that as all I did as and I have been a coach since 2017. After the death of Sandra, I decided to delve deep into that, but I was still working as a teacher. And then I upgraded my self-worth by doing a reset, and my whole life shifted. So within 4 months, I had sold 3 properties for $2.35 million because I really realized my value. I'd started to clean off some of the things, the underlying beliefs, the emotions that were stopping, blocking, and limiting me. And I was able to see my true value. And that's something that I teach all women, but I can only share that with them and they have to decide for themselves. It's not something that can tell someone, come on, be worthy now. It's something that they have to see in themselves and agree in themselves and commit to on themselves. And it can be a, a quick process that I can do, but then they have to live it and breathe it and embody it and show the outside world that this is who they are. So it can take steps from that old identity to the new. And when you reconnect with your true value and stop seeking approval outside of yourself, you step into divine leadership, which you're born to embody. And divine feminine leadership is very powerful, very grounded, and it's actually amazing the magic and miracles that just flow through the creativity. And my fourth takeaway is embracing the feminine flow. So letting go of rigid structures and allowing life to flow. So this takes a lot of trust. So we thrive, so the feminine energy thrives on spontaneity, intuition, and ease. And aligning with this flow allows you to create with joy and magnetize your desires without force. And the only way that you can get there is to be able to resolve all those underlying patterns that have stopped, blocked, and limited that from the flow. Because the reason you aren't flowing, if you're not, is because that lack of self trust comes from an unsafety that you experienced as a child. And it's a remembrance. Every time you're reactive in a fear based way, that is a response that's bringing you back to keep you safe. And only when you're in a safe environment with a safe person are you able to let go and let that true you experience life. So when you have gone through that, so the fifth takeaway is the art of divine allowing. So surrendering control. I remember years ago when I went to learn the stuff that I do in 2017, the first thing that I had to let go of was control because I had a very unsafe childhood. And so I found that I needed to control my environment. That's probably why I got into manifestation and magic because I thought if I can control the outside world, I'll feel safe. I'll feel good. And so I was very much a micromanager, told people what to do, was very, very bossy, very controlling. I was a hard worker, so I knew that I could make money. And I was, yeah, I was very burnt out because controlling takes a lot of your energy, a lot of your brain power, a lot of your physical energy, and shifting to trusting the universe has your back and your desires are being drawn to you takes a bit of time, and understanding and surrounding yourselves with people that are doing this is very important because you need to co-regulate with other people in your environment. And that's why the Backyard Peace Project is so profound and so brilliant because being in a community like this, we all want the best for each other and the safety. So the sixth area of the takeaway is the impact of self-like over self-love. Now, we know, people talk about self-love. That can feel really hard when we're brought up in a school of competition and success and comparison and all of that stuff, which makes you already feel judged when from a young age. And my take on this is learning to like yourself as a friend, your own best friend, and take the pressure of perfection, and allow yourself to experience life. And the mistakes are just feedback to and data and information for next time. And so the deeper self-love comes the more you like yourself and being authentically you. And I know we all want belonging, we want to be liked. Of course we do. And that is a very powerful shift too when you surround yourselves with people that are unapologetic and realize that we all are unique, we all have differences, and we embrace them. We're about we're about collaboration, we're about cooperation, we're about togetherness. And that's where safety is in numbers with people that want you to thrive. The seventh takeaway is embracing the power of vision. Now, once you clear out all of that stuff, mainly from there's four areas that you get your triggers from your reactivity from, and the first one is from your childhood. All of those people in your childhood created the program and the nervous system that you have today. And the second one is your environment, what is surrounding you, the different media, the different, even your house, like all the things that's surrounding you, the nature, all of that really impacts who you are and how you grow up. You think of a plant. Is it getting sunlight? Is it getting nurtured? Is it being looked after? So think of yourself as the plant in your environment. And another one is gestational. So in your mother's womb, how was that feeling? What kind of environment was that you were being brought up into? And then the last one is generational. What are the generations before you? What have you inherited? And some of these things, might stop, block, and limit you. Or the shift for Backyard Peace Project is when you have that inner peace and that true groundedness and know who exactly you are, you're able to shift forward in your vision. Your highest vision is your desires, and you step forward into them with trust and with safety. Being part of a group like this means you can. And cultivating a clear, inspiring vision which empowers you to make decisions that are aligned to your higher self, and you set the stage for massive manifestation. So you can step into that with courage, with safety, because the Backyard Peace Project is like the golden net that you jump off and we catch you. Because here, there's all the wisdom of all of these amazing people here to share everything they've got to make your life more amazing. And that's what I want for you too. So the eighth takeaway is your health, wealth, and relationships. When I'm working with clients, I ask these questions because I get them to create the clarity. I create the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. So your current reality to your desired reality. That's what I do. I create this bridge. And along that bridge, I ask every client what they desire, because health is the foundation of life. Your wealth amplifies and accelerates where you're going. And the relationships is the purpose. You love. It's love at the core. And how you feel is the fourth one. And use that as your compass. It's your GPS to see are you going in the right direction, or are your past fears, which are your reactivity, which is your triggers, are they bringing you back to that old? Even if you had a childhood which was not desirable, you'll be drawn back to that if it feels safer to be in a terrible environment if it's familiar. And that's why bringing part of a group that has safety in kindness rather than safety in all suffering and misery, which sometimes families do. And so that's why the Backyard Peace Project is about inner peace within and working with your family. And then you can work outside and make more impact. The ninth takeaway is choosing your divine path. Now, every woman has the power to choose her path by stepping into divine power. And when people say, they don't have any connection, they feel disconnected, that is when they've looked outside of themselves for too long. They've looked outside of themselves for success, for approval, for validation. So they keep looking outside of themselves and they've given their power away to outside of them, people going, oh, yeah, you're good. Okay. They keep needing that. And if you've decided that I'm okay as I am, I have worth, I'm valuable, I'm a unique being here, my worth is, you know, because you are born. It's infinite and it's unquantifiable. So you're here because you are here and you've been chosen to be here. So there's no quabbling about that. There's no one can tell you that you have an innate value that's not even there's no monetary amount on a human being because every single person is here because they were decided to be on this planet. And so your choices today shape your tomorrow. So when you've decided that you are a value, that you're going to participate and collaborate and contribute to this beautiful life experience, then everything changes. But you have to make the decision and not look outside of you because that's where a lot of women that I work with, they get lost, they get disconnected because they need to connect back inside within. And that's where the self-trust and the divine knowing and the allowing come from. And that's when your energy can be generated. The last thing, number 10, is a living legacy through leadership. So once you know exactly who you are, and that is a work in progress, it's evolution and growth over your entire lifetime. There's always things that come up. The higher you rise, the more things you have to experience. The challenges come up, which are greater opportunities. Will there be new challenges and new things that come your way? And so that means you become have greater capacity to deal with more. And that's where your emotional responses and the triggers, your capacity to have that beautiful health that flows through you and to you, have the wealth that is able to be managed with grace, comes from you having the capacity to be able to manage your emotions and resonate with actually a flowing nervous system that doesn't keep jolted into reactivity. And that's where true embodiment comes from, being able to walk with grace through these challenges rather than seeing them as setbacks, you see them as set ups, and you build strength and you build skills from these experiences, and you use the triggers and these emotional responses as invitations to growth. You see them as where your edges are through where you've been, what you've done before, and you're expanding that capacity and slowly growing it through safety, through being in these beautiful groups with beautiful people and creating things and showing yourself what you're really capable of. You can do that too. And then you become a leader. So you're not only living your own life, you've created a great life for you first, your health, wealth, and relationships and how you feel. You work on that first, and then you're here to leave the legacy. Then you can work with your family, then have greater impact on the world. Because when you leave with love, authenticity, and soul alignment, you create a ripple effect that empowers other women and transforms the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope there's some golden nuggets here today that you can implement. I love you. I want the best for you. And Divine Woman Experience is leading with love, leaving a legacy. And the Backyard Peace Project is just that for you. It's your golden net. So just jump. Love you. And I want the best for you. And I'm here for you. Thank you.